Good morning. Listen, I want to come on happy Self-Care Saturday morning. I made a video on Thursday night. It took me 2 days to get that video uploaded, okay? Like, the evil one was just coming for me. And I uploaded it on my Instagram page, and it was a success, of course. But when I tried to save it to my phone to download it to my YouTube page, it was just not going. The enemy was just not going for it. So, excuse that last video. It was no editing. I was trying my very hardest to get it up on the YouTube page. And the enemy was just not having it, okay? Because I felt like that video needed to come out because that was setting a lot of wives free as far as these cycles that they are going through. And so I wanted to come on this morning, of course, yes, happy Self-Care Saturday, and make sure that my wives are prioritizing themselves on this Self-Care Saturday. But I also wanted to just share some transparency. Of course, I can't give it to you any other way but truth. I can't give it to you any other way. And before I have my session this morning, I wanted to just come on and speak to my YouTube family and my Instagram family and just share some transparency with you, as a coach, as a wife, as a mom, as a woman of God. I just want to first say that none of us are exempt from problems. None of us are exempt from circumstances, okay? I know a lot of times people look at certain leaders or look at certain people's lives, look at certain people, situations and feel like, oh my God, they don't have any problems or they don't have anything that they're going through. And that is so not true. That is so not true. And so I want to just first say that, okay? Yes, I'm a coach. Yes, I'm a business owner. Yes, I am a mommy. Yes, I am a wife. Yes, I am a leader. Yes, I am a minister. I'm all those things. But titles does not exempt you from problems, okay? Titles do not exempt you from problems. And I share that to say the month of July, baby, has been, man, it has been off the chain, okay? This has been my travail month. And I can't say that I was not prepared for it because I felt like the Lord had shared that with me early on in the month that this was my refining season. And, change does not happen until you go through that process. Change does not happen until you go through that process. And so July has been travailing for Coach T, okay? It has been very travailing. And I felt like today, and especially after the video situation that happened on Thursday, I was just like, man, God, what was up with it? Like, why I couldn't get that video up on YouTube? I was just so frustrated about that. And I felt like the Lord just shared with me, there comes a time on your journey. And of course, I'm speaking right back to my wives. There comes a time on your journey, wives, where you have to come to a place of acceptance. Because if you do not get to that place of acceptance, you will never be able to walk in freedom. And from freedom leads peace, okay? So you have to come to a place. And I just feel like the Lord placed that in my spirit this morning. Like, you have to come to a place of acceptance. Once you come to that place of acceptance, then freedom follows that, okay? Freedom follows that. And so I just wanted to make sure that wives are very, very, very aware of that, especially when you're walking on this journey to restoration, especially when you're trying to get back to that healthier place, but especially when you're trying to, get moving forward in your life and on your walk. I want wives to be encouraged that you have to come to a place of acceptance, because only when you come to that place of acceptance, when freedom follows, okay? And once you get to that place of freedom, that's where your peace prevail. Come on, Jesus. That's where your peace prevail, all right? And so I want you to be aware of that, all right? And so I heard the Lord, doing this morning, Coach T, before, like I said, I had my session. My time was in more so self-care versus soul care. I had some soul care time with the Lord this morning. And one of the questions he brought to me and asked me, I felt like he asked me was, what's your superpower? Like, what's your superpower? And I'm saying to myself, well, outside of you, God, I don't really know. You my superpower, right? Outside of you, I don't really know what my superpower is. And so I have a package here that I'm getting ready to send out this morning as well, to one of my wives. And I looked at that, I'm like, that's that's the name of my business. Like, that's the name of my business. Like, what's that? And then he brought to me what he had been sharing me this last week, which has been the hardest. He said, your superpower is bounce back. Your superpower is bounce back. I'm like, come through, Jesus. That is your superpower. You have learned to bounce back through difficult situations. You have learned to bounce back through hard times. You have learned to bounce back through the most difficult times of your journey. And that's where your freedom resides. That's where your freedom resides. You have to be able to accept where you are. You have to be able to accept where you are, accept what the situation is, accept that your husband may not be what you want him to be, accept that your family may not be what you want it to be, accept that you're not necessarily making the money that you want to be making, accept that, I can't go across the world and travel across the world right now, but one day I will be able to do. Accept where you are now, because once you accept that, then you can walk in complete freedom, right? Then you can walk in complete freedom. And I feel like the only way wives can get to this place is with spending some time with God. I tell y'all all the time, you cannot do this assignment as his wife without placing some time with God. You have to be very, very committed to spending that time with God, because it's in those times and in those moments when God is talking to you, is when he's sharing with you, is when he's letting you know where you are. He's giving you the heads up on things. It's in that time. It's in doing those hours. It's doing those nights. It's doing those moments. Spending time with God is where you get to come to that place of acceptance, where you get to come to that place of freedom. It's not so much about what's going on with your spouse. It's not so much about what's going on around you. It's not so much about, what your circumstances is, because look, we are not exempt for that. We are not exempt from problems. That's going to happen. And God's word tells us, I want you to understand, in this life, you will go through circumstances. You will have trials. You will have tribulations, but don't fear, don't worry about it, because I've already overcome the world. I've already overcome these things for you, okay? And as long as you have me on your side, as long as you have me with you, you will be fine. You will be fine. And I want to just really just put that out there this morning for wives. You will be fine, wives. You will be fine. And I want to challenge you to this morning, or sometime during this weekend, to go and sit with God and let him reveal to you what your superpower is. Let him reveal to you what your superpower is. We need God. We need God. And God is not just looking for someone where he can just sit here and not do anything with. Once you get to that place and come to that place of acceptance and walk into that place of freedom and walk to your into peace, God is saying, all right, now I want to use you. Now I want to use you to do great and mighty things. I don't want you to just get all this stuff that I'm sharing with you and just just hoover it for yourself. I want you to share this with other people. I want you to be able to share this with other people in the world. I want other people to be able to experience you. I want other people to be able to experience what I have shared with you and what I have offered you and how I brought you through some of these things, okay? And so I want to encourage my wives this weekend to spend some time with God. Spend some time. Let him reveal to you what your superpower is, what it is that he's trying to get through you, what it is that he's trying to birth through you. And that was his word to me this morning. Acceptance. You have to get to a place where you surrender, where you accept, where you can walk in freedom. Then you can accept and receive that peace that God has for you, that peace that surpasses all understanding. Listen, I think I spoke about this maybe a week ago about, who qualifies for the miracle. Who qualifies for the miracle? The person who qualifies for the miracle is a person who accepts what they are, accept that they can't do anything about their situation, accept it is what it is right now. But even with it being what it is right now, God still wants to use you. God still wants to do some things in you. God still wants to show you who He is on a different level. God still wants to reveal Himself to you. God is still doing the miraculous even in this hour. So even once you come to a place of acceptance, don't think that that's the end of your story. God is saying, once you accept this, now I can do what I'm going to do. Once you accept where you are, now I can begin to move around, because as long as you fighting me and as long as you're going back and forth with me, I can't help you. I can't help you. All right. And so I pray today for wives to come to that place of acceptance. I pray for wives today to walk in their freedom. I pray for wives today to walk into their peace. I pray for wives today that the Lord will reveal to them their superpower. What is your superpower? What is your superpower? And the Lord told me my superpower is that bounce back, baby, that bounce back. All right. Listen, enjoy the rest of your Self-Care Saturday. Coach T will see you on the other end. Blessings.